has it up at the top. Okay,
There we go.
Director Smith,
Still here.
Director Weinman.
Here.
Director Howard.
Here.
Director Schaefer.
Here.
Director Lowry.
Here.
Director Baker.
Here. Any place to the flag, please? I do. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Any additions to the agenda?
No additions, but we are gonna revise it, removing Director Baker's, town equipment report for right now. He hasn't received all the information he needs to give a full report.
Okay, much to get, sorry, guys.
Okay, any anything else on the agenda? If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All those, any discussion? All those signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those same sign. Okay, staff reports. I don't have anything. So sorry about that, but any board of trustees have anything they'd like to shoot away?
I do have a comment. I was stopped on the way to the meeting. They can't find the agenda on the website when you click on it, and KWWA's agenda as well. It says page cannot be found.
Yeah, we'll have to look at that again. We were having that issue last week when we did post them.
Uh-huh,
They had to go back, I had to go back to the state and have them clear out the cache,
okay,
and that cleared it up last time. So we'll take a look at that again tomorrow.
Okay.
So let me make a note of that.
Okay, we'll try to get that repaired. Town attorney, are you there?
I'm here.
Have any comments?
Nope, not at this time.
Town administrator?
Under grants, we received a grant from Kiowa. I think I've already told you that this was $25,000 to update the company's. RFP's gone out. Deadline for response on that is May 26th.
I can't really hear you for what that's worth, Kim.
Okay. On April 21st, I applied. Can you hear me now? Okay. April 21st, I put in that application for the TAP program, which is the Transportation Alternatives Program. And we are seeking $2 million in funding from them for the engineering and design portion of that total sidewalk and storm drainage project down along 86. We are going to apply in July for $500,000 from DOLA. That will go with the $2 million for the design and engineering, for a total cost for the design and engineering of $2.5 million. The total project cost, after we complete that portion, we'll go on and seek more grant funding from them. But the total project cost will be in excess of $13 million.
Holy smokes, it takes them 2.5 to figure out what they're gonna do.
And design it. Yeah.
Wow.
It's a lot.
They came up with 13 million, if it takes them 2.5 to figure it out.
Yeah, it takes a lot of engineers. I learned in a lot of capacities. I went to Lyman and participated in the meeting concerning their want to do the 3-inch mill and fill down 86. My concern was, knowing that we're applying for this, why would they want to do a 3-inch mill and fill down 86 when they're just going to potentially tear it out and waste all that money? I thought we were wasting about $250,000. They were putting close to $1 million of mill and fill along our portion of highway, essentially throwing away $1 million in funding. So part of that conversation with them was letting them know I'm applying for this funding and why, and asking if somehow we can roll that money into this project. They agreed it would be a huge waste of their funds to do that. And what they opted to do was make this a 2-phase construction project where we would still get the entire project for curbs, gutters, sidewalks, drainage completed in this project, and they would tack on the $1 million for free without having to apply for it or jump through any hoops, and still do the mill and fill at the end of this before they finish it with striping and such. So it'll be tacked onto this. But there's about 22 people at that meeting, a lot of them engineers in various capacities that will have their hands in this, when this project starts, so it takes a lot of engineers, I guess, to get this done. That's all on grants. On town events, one thing that we have been brainstorming, our planning committee, we threw it around last year, we've talked about it at the beginning of this year. Our Colorado Day Ice Cream Social was really successful, having Billy and Dwayne Owens there playing live music. And I asked them if they would be interested this summer in coming back and doing some concerts in the park, at Norton Park in the evenings. We already know Elizabeth does this on Friday evenings. So I asked them if they would be interested in doing them on Saturday evenings, and they agreed. They would love to do that. So what we're looking at is the Owens doing one Saturday in June, July, and August. And then I was gonna get with the bar and ask them about the bands that they line up in the bar on various Saturdays, and see if there's something we can work out where we can share that band on that Saturday in the park. We would do it from 5 to 7:30 Saturday evenings. So it's like a trial thing this year. We'll see how it goes. The Owens are really excited about doing it.
I got one for you when you're done.
That's all I got. Well, that's all I got on that. Yeah. Okay.
We might ask, Wayland and,
Yeah, MW,
yeah, whatever they're called,
yeah,
the one that,
they play down at the bar, I think.
they played one. Yeah, cause that'd be cool to have that going.
Wayland?
Well, I don't know what they're called.
I could get you their contact.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but they're pretty good kids. And they
yeah,
play good music. so.
Awesome. That'd be great.
All right,
WMW.
has Miss Public Works, do you have anything on that?
Yes. We are addressing potholes, just so you guys know. Mendez has been busy de-winterizing the park sprinkler systems, mowing grass, and making repairs to park equipment that has been pointed out to us by our insurance company. So he's been doing those things. I actually ordered 50 bags of asphalt repair from Home Depot that FedEx has lost somewhere in the country. So Home Depot has canceled that order on their ticket and reissued it, and it should be coming in Parker in the next week or so. So Mendez will go pick that up this time instead of being shipped.
So right now, we don't have any patch.
We don't have any patch right now, and we did talk to Teddy down at CDOT. They did not get all of they had hoped to get in for this rest of this year. So they've been shortchanged on what they need for their projects too. So what he needs, it has to cover hundreds of miles. So that's all he has right now.
I saw them doing something down at the gas station.
He's behind it in the alleyway.
No, right on 86.
Yeah,
It was right out
Yeah.
in front of town hall here one morning.
Yeah, he's been throwing mix in potholes.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean, it's obviously a temporary fix, but
The
it's helping a
bridge
little
just, you
bit.
go like this, but, I mean, he's trying, cause there's only one
That's all
person
we
up there
have
now.
right now, yeah.
Well, we do really need to hit the Kiowa Bennett Road here in town.
And he's aware of that. I thought,
Belver County Road and Bridge off. Well, let's you and I go down there and start
I do want to tell you one thing, and we need to have done, and you and I have touched on this, Josh, is street cleaning.
Yep.
Street sweeper, we have a brilliant street sweeper on the garage.
Really
I
nice one.
don't believe that has left that garage in 2 years. We are responsible for the curb lines, like we've discussed before. And part of the issue we have down here along this south curb line is the dirt and buildup that CDOT has explained they feel is dropped there from vehicles that park along there. Either way, it needs to be cleaned up by us with a street
Getting
sweeper.
knocked off and we all hit potholes.
So Josh is graciously volunteered
Right.
to operate that thing, but Teddy is also volunteered to come down and catch Mendez on a Tuesday or Thursday and help give him a little training on it as well.
Okay.
So we're gonna get that done here in the next week or so.
Do we still have the opportunity to get community service people?
We do. I just signed back up with Arapahoe County.
Okay, cause there's no need, there would be a push broom and a flat shovel. What they used to do in Manitou to clean their curbs, cause they didn't have any fancy equipment, so
Oh,
somebody
okay.
wants to spend some time, we could cone it off and let them
Well, it seems like what they do is we get on the list saying, yes, we'll take them.
Yeah,
And then they put a board out there saying the town of Kiowa will take you and this is what they're asking that you do. So they leave it on the offender to make the choice, what job they want to do and how far out they want to drive. So we did have a young girl calling last year, what was the beginning of this year? We were trying to get her to come stuff Easter eggs.
Oh, yeah.
But by then it was too late. She'd already found something else and she wasn't
Okay.
returning my call. So, but we are on the list for Arapahoe County Community Services.
We don't have anything for Elbert.
county,
No,
What about getting the inmates up for a day?
I don't know. I can ask them. I don't know what they do with them. Arapahoe County contracts with Echo and that's how they got hooked up with us.
Hmm.
So I don't know about Elbert County, to be honest with you. I can actually ask Erica with Echo because she'd probably have information on that.
oh, next time I catch Tim, I'll ask him if he. Hey, got any street sweepers?
Yeah,
I might be able to.
I need a big. I mean, they get out of jail and they, get out in the community, so
right.
I'll ask him.
Or just like, hey, you missed your court date and now you've got 30
Yeah.
hours of community service to do
Right.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
That's sound in front of the courthouse building, or the brick building.
Any
It'll
volunteers?
be 8 inches deep, I mean.
Yeah.
Well, it already is over for the bar.
And wet, heavy, and I mean, it will be,
Yeah, we need to get it what's dry. And see if it can be cleaned up.
Well, when Mendez gets his bags in. Let me know and I'll pick a Tuesday or Thursday and I'll help him get
Okay.
those filled, cause man, that's a mess.
Yeah. Okay. But that's all I have. Code enforcement, we don't have a report due again until July.
Code enforcement on, I just got a call from a patron. Shasta Court. Seems like there's a big RV parked on the sidewalk.
They're parked on
On
the
the sidewalk.
grass. Like, and I'm pretty sure that that's the town's.
Yeah,
area,
it's,
isn't it?
yeah, it's, I mean, they
It's
gotta
been
need to
parked
be
there
parked on the
for
curb.
Several months. It was in their backyard.
It was, and I think they pulled it out.
Is that yours?
No, mine,
Oh, okay.
mine's actually not here. right
Okay.
now. No, it's.
Well,
the
they're your
people
direct
next to us.
neighbors.
Yep,
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's been out there for at least
Couple months.
6 weeks.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So anyway, it
It's
needs,
not the one that was behind the coyote, is it? I'm just kidding.
yeah, we tried to get
That's
up there and
terrible.
roughed it off.
did you
Okay.
see the cool one we had in the alley back behind it?
I saw it, it was pretty.
Somebody took through, it had one set of wheels on it, the other three were bare.
Yeah, Joe was telling me about
It's
that.
just
Okay.
running on wheels.
Consent items, approval of the minutes from the April 18th, 2023 meeting.
Don't move.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Right.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, we'll get those babies expenditures for the month of year-to-date 2023.
I do just want to bring one thing to your attention, which we'll talk more about later. But I highlighted a couple items on your financials. That is the outstanding legal fees at this time. They haven't been paid back to the town. And just so you're aware, we are at this point $35,000 over our budgeted line on the legal fees on our budget.
So are they gonna be paying it?
I don't know right now. We're gonna talk about that later. With Ruth. She needs directions from you guys. Me.
Every one of us is touching our phones.
Do you have those unpaid civil engineering fees too on there?
Yes, there's a highlighted line item on the page of page 2 at the bottom, and then top of page 3 is that $1,529.
And that's what, how? It's 3 months now? Is that 3 months? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, that's correct.
To refresh my memory, what were the court consultants for?
those were the civil engineers that reviewed the site plans and PUD in the very beginning of this process in April of last year. Yeah.
For the development.
Yes, and
Okay.
I can't speak to why, they did not, I have this problem at the end of the year, I try at the end of the year when we're doing budget and going into the next year. Contacting everybody I know has outstanding invoices. Parker Porta Potty is one of the worst. I mean, last year, they didn't bill for all of 2021 until January 2022. It was an oversight. Yeah, so, I don't know why we have these issues with some of them not getting invoices for many months later, but you know, we owe them all the same, so.
Yeah.
I have to pay them or puts the town in a bad position.
Sure, okay.
Last year's budget was, or, you know, financials were skewed all year because I paid all of 2021's porta potty in 2022 and then all of 2022's.
Yeah,
So it was a huge amount of porta potty rooms last year when you looked at it on paper.
I make a motion, we approve the expenditures.
No second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
For the same sign. Anyone like to stand up and make a 3-minute speech? Okay,
And nobody
moving
signed
on.
up.
Question,
Okay,
let's go through point of order here, our executive session. What's our anticipated time of that? Is that gonna be a 5-minute discussion, a 30-minute discussion?
I know where you're going with this. Yeah, Ruth, how long do you feel will be an executive session?
Oh, I hope not very long, maybe 10 minutes.
Okay, good. I think the concern is that we have somebody sitting here waiting for line item B under new business.
Well, I mean, feel free to amend it, whatever you guys need to do. I mean, I can wait.
Yeah.
And-
I'd rather we go into new business.
Okay. So Rick, we can do a motion to amend the agenda, moving
Okay.
new business up to before executive session.
Yeah.
So moved.
second, any
Who
discussion?
did the second? Jonathan?
Well, I kind of did it at the same
Yeah.
time, but
Yeah.
just grab one.
All right, so we are headed to new business.
We'll do new business. That means
Oh,
Tasha's
and
up.
all of those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
So same sign.
You don't have to touch. Okay. So first on new business is that all of you are aware, Tasha has resigned.
She's not allowed.
I
It's
know.
only valid if we accept.
I
it.
know.
Yeah, don't be vote on that.
She,
to vote on it, however.
tell them a little bit about what you're doing so they feel better about, you're not mad at them.
No, I'm not. I'm going full-time to have worked part-time for a conservation district for 9 years now. And they're wanting to get more programs and outreach going and that kind of thing, and so I'm gonna move to full-time with them. So that'll put me squarely in agriculture and ag education and outreach and stuff that I really enjoy, so.
Well, good on you.
Yeah.
That's where Tiffany
Yes.
McGinn
Yep,
is, right?
yep. Yeah, same office.
So we have interviews the next 2 days, all day. Trying to find a replacement, and Tasha will be participating in that with us, because she can speak to the job really well, and she'll be able to fill them out and see if she feels that they would be.
That was my only question is will Tasha be able to train them?
That's
Hopefully,
what-
my last day here won't be till May 31st, so I'm
And
here
that's
for a
what-
while.
Yeah, and
So,
that's part of what we're putting on them is what is your turnaround time of being able to come in here? We're really needing them in here the last week of May, the last 3 days, so it's like a full week and 3 days
If they're right
before
now.
Tasha leaves. And she doesn't have to have, it's not extensive training. You know, if we pick the right person, they could pick it up really quick. And Tasha will be really good at training them. So, and the great thing about having Tosh, is she's available to call
Yeah,
with any questions, you know, and she's right down the road
Not
and
moving.
and she has offered, you know, to assist us if we need, if there's a lag in whoever we choose being in here, when we need them in here. Tasha can come in and help us with some of the billing at the end of the month if we need. We'll just see where we're at.
She can
you know.
still come to meetings.
if she chooses.
Coming out.
In her,
She wants to come to.
I don't know who in their right mind, you know.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that, but just because she loves us.
But
that's
you
all.
got, yeah.
Christmas party at her house.
Lunch, there you go.
Yeah. No, hopefully we can get somebody here and I can spend a little time and we can make it a good, smooth transition for everybody.
And for them, they won't be walking in the way Tosh walked in.
Right.
That's what's important.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, we're gonna miss you. Thank you.
Yeah, agreed.
All right.
Okay, new business B, request for deviation from the parking space requirements as stated in chapter 16 of zoning, section 16-114 at 304 Comanche Street. Introduce yourself at the podium.
Yeah.
Tell us what's up.
Hey, everybody, I'm Jessie. I know a lot of you, some of you, most of you. We bought the old shop at Pawnee and Comanche Street. And I'm sorry. We're really excited about it. We really are. We're required 8 parking spaces plus an ADA space. And so we're requesting a deviance to have off-site parking. And what we're hoping for is 45-degree angled parking along Pawnee. And also to go from 8 regular spaces down to 7 regular spaces to accommodate that traffic triangle. Is that what it's called, Ken?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is all that in there?
Yeah, so you have a memo in here that Safe Built put together, and this was also done with Justice participation in the meeting that we had discussing this. And just know, this is coming directly to the board because our code requires this to come to the board. For whatever reason, it doesn't go to planning and variance. This particular situation goes directly to the board to make the determination. So she gets, shut up to the top. She doesn't have to wait around a couple months. And what Jesse's told you is exactly what we discussed at the meeting. And Safe Built pretty much recommends the same.
Yeah, I think there's drawings in there that illustrate that traffic triangle and why they recommend reducing it by 1 spot, so you're not sticking out where you can see.
Yeah.
Um,
So we also discussed on page 3, it shows you that triangle, that site triangle there. We also discussed in the meeting, Jesse understands that should we need to do construction along Pawnee, we own that right away there. So we're giving her the permission to park in our right of way along Pawnee. And she understands that if at some point we do construction along there for sidewalks or the road or anything, she's gonna have to figure out a way to adjust her parking. To
With this
accommodate
again,
that.
parking on the liquor store side,
It's the same situation on the liquor store side.
that's gonna start making it narrow. I mean, I just about got head on by some lady in her Volkswagen who came whipping in down there around that suburban Mills Park.
Well, it's a wide street. I wasn't aware that the edge of the road and the gravel there is actually right away. As long as I've been here, because of how they allow the cars to park along that auto parts place or the auto repair place, I thought it was all their own parking. I thought they owned that as parking. But actually what they've been doing is parking those into the building. And it shouldn't have been parking those into the building. That's why that road was so narrow. Jesse understands what a problem that caused us at the time. There's pictures in there that depicting what that looked like. If you weren't aware of that. And how that was utilized back then.
There were days that the picture she had is nice.
Ruth, you gonna say something?
Well, only that it's not called right away, it's called a platted alley, so.
Okay.
Somewhere that alley would have to be dedicated to the town.
Well, as far as Safe Build is concerned, we're talking about Pawnee as it goes to that corner right there at Comanche.
Right,
Along Pawnee on both sides of the road, by the bar and by her business that she is,
By the liquor store.
Yes.
yeah,
Not
okay.
the bar.
I'll call it the bar.
Yeah.
It's the liquor gets me going off. By the liquor store on one side, and then her business on the other side of Pawnee. Those are both town right of ways, according to Safe Build. So they would be parking in a town right of way which it has been all along, but the problem that arose back when it was the other business was the other business had cars parking nose in to the business. Not parking even parallel along that curb line. Well, there's not even a curb line, there's not a curb.
There's no curb.
There's no curb,
I don't
yeah,
think they
it's
have.
just gravel.
Can
Go
I
ahead,
add
Kristen.
something to that?
Yeah, absolutely.
We're interested, if there's an opportunity for a partnership with the town, we'd be willing to do that work, curb and sidewalk work along Pawnee.
Okay.
With some crushed asphalt possibly, on those spaces. With maybe, we talked about maybe a license agreement or something where, our offices could use those parking spaces during the workday. But on evening and weekends to serve the town, you know, that little spot's busy with the bar and the liquor store and Beano's and Patty Ann's and all of those. Possibly it could be shared parking off hours for the town to use as well.
So those spots would be dedicated to her business because she has a required number of spaces she has to have while she's working. Businesses are done.
What's the width of the street? You know, from curb to supposed curbless on the other side to you,
Don't know.
because if you're going out from the building 6 feet.
From pavement to pavement, I'm not sure. The area that we're talking about, isn't a part of the paved street now. It's, it looks like gravel. It looks like it's on our property, but it's just not our property. It's, the building's edge, the west side of the building's edge is actually the end of our property. And so even though it's gravel and it looks like it's a part of our lot, it's just not. It's technically a little bit of town. But pavement to pavement, I don't know how wide that street is.
Because it says that you're gonna go from basically the edge of the building
Mhm.
out 6 feet. And start your diagonal parking, is that correct?
26.
And how much is that gonna overhang into that portion of the street?
There's 6 foot with sidewalk.
I think if we assumed that the town would want this sidewalk in, right now, this is all very confusing.
Mhm.
People cut straight through our driveway, through underneath the awning to get to Beano's around the corner. So we thought this might be appreciated, this sidewalk. It would be appreciated by us too, just for mud and purposes, but I mean, if we're worried about that being out 6 feet, I don't think that's,
I just wonder how far you're gonna be going into the paved part.
I don't think they will.
It doesn't look
So
like
if you'll read page 2 down at the bottom, and I'll read it to you so you understand. Just so you know, what Safefield is giving you is their recommendation of what
right.
they say should happen. The applicant requests the board support the continued parking of vehicles along the eastern edge of Pawnee Street with an alternative parking design. By keeping the parking along Pawnee Street, the applicant can locate the accessible parking space at the entry of the building rather than placing it at the rear of the building. Next, to resolve any obstruction of the right of way by parked vehicles and to ensure safety of drivers utilizing Pawnee Street, the applicant is proposing a 45-degree angle parking design. The angle design will allow for the creation of a 6-foot sidewalk along the western edge of the lot, which you'll see in Exhibit A. Largely, the new parking space design is the most beneficial at this site, considering the existing site constraints.
It
So-
seems like the intent is for the vehicles to be in the gravel, not on the.
Not on the street.
Right.
Right angling.
Right.
That's the way
I was just looking at the placement of that stop sign,
Yeah,
you know.
Well,
If
go
you look at
on.
That stop
page
sign
3.
has always been a nightmare.
we would love it
used to
if it moved closer to the street.
do you remember back in the day when it was in the alley?
It used to be at the alley. You stop there, every
You stopped there,
kid.
then there was no
always
stop sign for the highway.
Only stopped at one stop sign and it was at the alley. If you didn't, you failed your driver's
Yep.
test. We're back in the ticket. I mean, it was the best,
It was
but,
hilarious.
but you stopped there and then you proceeded to the intersection.
Yeah.
It cost you, it was the best driving.
I flunked a lot of them.
Sure.
But and I don't know,
So if you go on to the next paragraph, it addresses the stop sign.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
so.
Further, the applicant requests the board support a 1 parking space reduction by the total number of required parking spaces. While the eastern edge of Pawnee Street may accommodate a total of 8 parking spaces, the northernmost parking space referred to as parking space 1 on your diagram may cause a traffic visibility issue with the existing stop sign. As shown in figure 3, the visibility triangle overlaps slightly with the parking space 1. Additionally, the existing stop sign may be completely obscured by any vehicle utilizing parking space 1. So that is why she's requesting a reduction in the required number of parking spaces to allow that visibility of the parking space, or in that stop sign.
And then that's gonna allow to see the stop sign.
Yeah, by not blocking it with a parking space there.
I think it should be shifted out. It's gonna be fun. They shift out too far, like.
Truck and trailer's gonna take
Get
it
it
out.
with the dump truck. Yeah. They can't get around this intersection.
So Jesse, remind me where you're gonna put your ADA parking spot? Is that
Yeah.
that one immediately behind where you would have?
I think there's one regular space and then, right behind the regular space is the ADA space.
That allowed better access to the building, right, without having to come up the street.
There's actually a, because it was originally a gas station. The grading at the north end of the building is quite a bit lower so that cars could pull in and pump gas. And so there's actually no ADA access from the parking areas down to the front door. And so the ADA access will actually be in the middle of the building. And so the ADA space would be right in front of that door
Okay.
with a van lane.
Right.
That makes sense. So does the design concept work for you?
Yeah, we love it.
That's good, okay.
Were there old tanks in there that they had to pull out?
No, they've been gone about 20 years.
Yeah, we took them out.
Yeah, thank goodness. That would have been a big deal.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
but there was asbestos.
there is, yeah.
There,
Right now, there's like 3 books left.
It's true.
right beside where the big door is on the west side. Outside that door was the gas pump on the north side of that door. And on the south side of that door was the diesel pump. And that was the only premium gas you can buy in Kiowa at the time. And then the 2 diesel pumps were towards the outhouses that went away. And there was the red diesel and the legal diesel were in the two cream or 2 pumps back
I
there.
never had any idea there was no plumbing in that building.
There will
In my
be.
mind.
There'll be
Yeah,
now.
it just, I had no idea it didn't have it. And so it was on the market and I'm like,
Pipes would freeze.
That makes a whole nother sketchy, vision in your head, doesn't it?
yeah.
I'm just
so
happy
who
there's
works
not
there?
gonna be flags there that say the F word.
Yeah.
Keep it advertising.
That old outhouse foundation, I mean, the outhouse was done. Foundation was really good, so we're gonna put a trash enclosure over it.
Well, I saw that there was
Yeah.
some rebars.
Which is another reason that we're asking for the parking off site is because now we don't have room for it.
The one memory, and so the house next to mine was owned by Jack Pemberton.
Yeah,
And he actually owned our house after Joe Gerardo passed away, he bought. And so we bought that house from his widowed wife Sylvia. But when I was about 8 years old, I used to always ride down there on a bicycle and he'd give me odd jobs and stuff. Well, I'll never forget the one time I sat down there, we'd sit under that deal, because that was the coolest spot in town, literally in the middle of summer was under that. And the post office was across the street.
Yep.
So you saw everybody there. And Cheryl Shepherd came in and he pulled up there to the end of the pole, which is where the air hose was. And he stepped out of that truck and left the door open and looked as wide as that wall. And the guys kind of kept the bottle of hooch stored in the back somewhere. And he just kept pouring and didn't say a word, but like, you're all right, what's wrong? Finally, he got where he could talk. He goes, I couldn't figure out why my damn dog, you've been putting up hay all day. He says, that dog wouldn't get in the front of that truck with me, rode in the bed. He says, I couldn't figure out what that damn dog was. He says, I got to the stop sign here at the Kiowa Bennett Road, and he says, I heard the rattle under my seat. A rat, and we waited, it was like 30 minutes, and a rattlesnake, biggest first rattlesnake I ever saw, came slithering out of that truck. Oh, I'm like, yeah, I will. How, I had no idea what an impression that day was. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, so, board, Before Trevor, because Trevor has probably 50 more stories.
Motion to approve.
That's limited.
Motion, do we have a second? We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
That's one thing. Thank you. Thank you.
And we appreciate you doing that.
That building is cool for some of the few of us that are left that grew up with that. I mean, thank you so much. So, yes,
Yeah.
maybe,
we're so
maybe
excited.
good to y'all.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. It's such a cool building, you guys. And the addition, was in really bad shape, but it's gonna come back just new. But that old part, dang, it's a cool building and it's in perfect condition. We had to do a, foundation repair on that front corner. Because that alley between us and the neighbor drains toward us, so we gotta fix that, but it's been draining and freezing for a really long time, and so it just sunk real bad, but that was it. I mean, the roof is pristine.
It's
and-
awesome.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to keep that, pulled everything off and the roof is good in that one.
Hallelujah.
It's still good up there.
I'm thinking that could be our new morning coffee spot.
Please come on over. I'll bring you a cup of coffee. Come on over.
Thank you, Jesse.
Awesome, you guys. Thank you.
Good to see
So I
you.
guess we'll be in touch about whatever's next on this thing. Okay. Yeah.
I'll go figure it out. We'll get you in touch with you. I don't know. We have anything there? I don't think you're.
All in favor?
Call for.
All in favor?
I,
Opposed, same sign? Okay,
Very good.
you're good to go.
Thank you, guys.
thanks.
Okay.
Yeah. For real, pop by, I'll pour you coffee.
Okay, we have no public hearings,
That's it.
and so we are going to back up with our attorney that disappeared. And so can we
There she is.
make a motion to go out of our meeting?
So moved.
We have a motion to go out of our regular meeting at 7:37 and a second.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And now
Hold on, one
at
moment.
7:37.
One moment, one moment. Marvin, we're gonna be stopping the video at this point, moving into executive session. Okay, Marvin. Ruth? Ruth,
Yes,
stay by, I'm gonna open another session, okay?
yep. So hopefully I'll be here.
Okay, so you're off, so I have to save a minute to read this.